Hello everybody, so I'm going to share some brief information about three of my ancestors, one from my paternal side and two from my maternal side. So starting with my paternal side of the family, I'd like to tell you a bit about my second cousin, once removed, Anselm Blackwell. He was born in Monticello, Mississippi, which is where my dad's family originates, in 1916, and also died there in 2002. But in between, Ants traveled the world as a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, serving in both Korea and Vietnam. He was also the first member of his family to attend college and attended Ole Miss on a football scholarship. And then shifting to my maternal side, I'd like to share some information about Charles Hoger, who is my great-great-great-grandfather on my maternal grandma's side of the family. And Charles was born in Brandenburg, Germany in 1865. He came to the U.S. with his family as a small child and settled in Elkhart, Indiana. And he was also an engineer on the 20th Century Limited Railroad, which was the premier passenger train at the time. And we later found out that he retired in San Diego, where he died in 1955. And then finally, I'd like to focus on John Ball, who is my 4 times great-grandfather on my maternal grandfather's side of the family. And John was born in Spotsylvania County, Virginia in 1823. And he later settled in Portersville, Ohio with his wife Eliza. And in this area of Ohio, both Perry and Morgan counties were significant centers for the Underground Railroad. And in fact, both John and his wife Eliza were conductors on the Underground Railroad. And as a staunch abolitionist, John later became a Methodist minister and also served in the Union Army for 3 years during the Civil War. And during this time in 1863, Morgan's Raid occurred, which actually came right through Portersville, Ohio, where John was living with his daughter Almeda, who was only 13 years old at the time. And Almeda later shared stories about, enduring Morgan's Raid with Confederate soldiers walking by. And lastly, we found out that John died in 1901 in Hilliard, Ohio, which is just outside of Columbus. And my hopes in this is to just delve deeper into John Ball's story, and also conduct further research on Perry and Morgan counties and, its relation to the Underground Railroad, as well as tales that were told about Morgan's Raid, and also the Methodist abolitionist movement, which is a key factor in John Ball's life. And lastly, I'm hoping to find personal stories from family records, as well as interviewing my grandparents about stories that they were told over the course of their life. Thank you.